Deep in the jungles of Central America, giant stone pyramids rise above the trees. They were built by one of the most brilliant civilizations in history, the Maya. They had writing, astronomy, and amazing cities, and then, mysteriously, they vanished. Our story takes place in Central America, in the lands we now call Mexico and Guatemala. Here, more than 3,000 years ago, the Maya people began to build their world. It was a hard place to live. Thick jungle covered the land. There were no large rivers in many areas. The weather was hot and wet. Dangerous animals like jaguars and snakes lived in the forest. But the Maya were clever. They learned to farm the land and clear the forest for crops. They also collected rainwater in large stone pools so they would have water in the dry season. Their most important crop was corn, which they called maize. Corn was the center of their food and their religion. The Maya believed that the gods had made the first humans out of corn. It was sacred to them. Slowly, the Maya built villages, then towns, then great cities. By around 250 AD, their golden age began. This golden age is called the Classic Period. It lasted for over 600 years. The Maya built more than 40 great cities. Some had populations of up to 50,000 people. One of the greatest cities was called Tikal. Its tall pyramids rose high above the jungle. Tikal was home to tens of thousands of people. Its tallest pyramid stood as high as a modern 20-story building. Another famous city was Palenque, known for its beautiful art and carvings. In Palenque, a great king named Tikal ruled for almost 70 years. His tomb was hidden deep inside a pyramid. When experts found his tomb centuries later, they discovered a beautiful jade mask covering his face. These were not just buildings, they were temples to the gods and tombs for the great kings. What is amazing is how they built them. The Maya had no metal tools. They had no wheels for carrying heavy loads. They had no horses or large animals to help. Yet they moved giant stones and built towering pyramids by hand. It is one of history's great wonders. Each Maya city had its own king. The king was both a ruler and a holy priest. The people believed the king could speak to the gods. He led great ceremonies on top of the pyramids. The Maya worshipped many gods, gods of the sun, the rain, the corn, and more. To please these gods, the Maya held many ceremonies. Some of these included offerings and sacrifice. They believed blood offerings kept the gods happy and the world in balance. Religion was at the center of everything. The Maya cities were not one single empire. They were many separate kingdoms. These kingdoms often traded with each other, but they also went to war with each other. The Maya were not only builders and warriors, they were also brilliant thinkers and scientists. They created the first complete writing system in all of the Americas. Their writing used hundreds of small symbols called glyphs. Each glyph carried sounds and meanings. They wrote on stone monuments and in books made of tree bark. Sadly, most of these books were later destroyed. When the Spanish arrived centuries later, they burned almost all the Maya books. Only a handful survived. For a long time, no one could read the strange Maya writing. It was a complete mystery. But slowly, over many years, experts learned to read the glyphs. The lost voices of the Maya began to speak again. The Maya were also amazing astronomers. They studied the sun, the moon, and the stars for centuries. They built special buildings to watch the sky. From these, They tracked the movement of the planet Venus. Their knowledge of the sky was incredible. They could predict eclipses of the sun and moon years in advance. The Maya also created an advanced system of mathematics, and they did something very rare for the ancient world. They understood the idea of zero. Very few ancient peoples ever discovered this on their own. Using their math and astronomy, the Maya made amazingly accurate calendars. They had a calendar based on a solar year of 365 days, just like the one we use today. They also had a famous calendar called the Long Count. It counted time across thousands of years. Many years later, this calendar caused a worldwide panic. Some people wrongly believed it predicted the end of the world in 2012. But that was a mistake. The Maya calendar was never about the end of the world. It simply began a new cycle. For centuries, the great Maya cities flourished. They were full of people, art, and life. The Maya loved color. They painted their buildings in bright red and other colors. They wore feathers and jade. They even played a serious ball game in huge stone courts. The game had deep religious meaning. The players used a heavy rubber ball. They could not touch it with their hands, only their hips and arms. The Maya were also great traders. They had no money, so they traded goods directly. They traded cacao beans, jade, feathers, and obsidian. Cacao, the source of chocolate, was so valuable it was used like money. Their trade routes stretched across Central America, connecting many different peoples. For a long time, it seemed the Maya world would last forever, but then something went terribly wrong. Starting around the year 800 AD, the great cities began to fail. One by one, they were abandoned. The people simply left. They walked away from their pyramids, their temples, and their homes. By around the year 900, the golden age of the Maya had collapsed. The great cities fell silent. But not all Maya cities fell at once. In the north, in the Yucatan, some cities still flourished. One of them was Chichen Itza, famous for its great step pyramid. It became a powerful center for centuries more. This pyramid was built with amazing skill. Twice a year, the sun creates a shadow that looks like a snake sliding down its steps. But in time, these northern cities also weakened. The great age of the Maya was ending. Why did this happen? This is one of the greatest mysteries in all of history. Experts have many theories. Some believe there was too much war between the cities. Others believe there were too many people and not enough food to feed them all. But the leading theory today is drought. A terrible, long-lasting drought may have struck the land. Without enough rain, the crops failed. Without food, the great cities could not survive. Slowly, the jungle took back the cities. Trees grew over the pyramids. Vines covered the temples. For hundreds of years, the great cities were lost and hidden under the green jungle. But here is something important. The Maya people did not all disappear. Their great cities fell, but the people lived on. Millions of Maya still live in Central America today. They still speak Maya languages. They keep many of the old traditions alive. Today, explorers and scientists still study the lost cities. New technology helps them find ruins hidden in the jungle. They have found that the Maya world was even bigger than we thought. Thousands of hidden structures lie under the trees. And little by little, we are learning to read their ancient writing. The Maya are finally telling us their story. Every year, new discoveries change what we know. The story of the Maya is still being written today. The Maya built a brilliant civilization in the jungle with writing, science, and towering pyramids. Their cities fell, but their mystery and their people live on. And we are still uncovering their secrets today. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more journeys into history. Thank you for watching.